It's a winter wonderland out here. That's for sure. Yes, indeed, it is winter in Ohio, but I'm really happy to see it's all the way up to 23 degrees. Good morning, YouTube friends and family, and welcome to today's congested edition of the Wellness Homesteader. Yeah, 2024 has kind of started out with a bang for me, so you may be wondering what I'm doing, and I'm just getting ready to use some of my Thieves fruit and veggie wash, and I have a little secret to tell you, but you'll have to stay tuned to find out. All right, y'all, full disclosure, you know, I'm a pretty honest person. I bought oranges, lemons, and ginger. So yes, I broke the Three Rivers Challenge as far as not going to the grocery outside of the rules that I set. But I wanted to talk a little bit about that because we're getting into later in the first month. For those of you who are doing 2 months, it may seem kind of difficult. Oh no, that's the temperature. Today's actually Friday the 19th, so by the time you're watching this, I should be well. But as guilty as I felt by going to the grocery store, here's the way I justified it. And this is the way I think all of us should think about it. So going back to why I decided to participate for the 4th year was pretty simple. Cheers, guys. A little hot tea. I could use some sweetener. And that is simply because I have a lot of home canned, home preserved food on my shelf. I have a very well stocked freezer. And then my long-term pantry, I have things that need to be rotated out. So I fully admit I kind of have an overabundance of food, and I want to decrease the stores. So that is my purpose. Do I grow oranges? Not in Ohio. Do I grow lemons? Not in Ohio. Could I grow ginger? I don't know the answer to that. I think that 6A would be too cold. But these are not things that I had on hand, nor did I decide to purchase. So I think I had said I went like on the 29th of January. I don't know why I said that, because it's wrong. I went on the 19th of December was the last time I grocery shopped. So I am fully at a month. And while these are not things that I had planned to need, the fact of the matter is my health is important to me. I am the Wellness Homesteader. And I have found in my experience, this is not medical advice, that home remedies will shorten the duration of a cold. So I've shared before, and I think I confused some of you, I've been on a medication for diabetes called Trulicity for about 3 months. I was not going to finish the last dose because I've had so many side effects. Hiccup much, throw up much. But anyway, I decided, under the doctor's advice, to go ahead and finish out the 3 months, which is the protocol. I had the medication. It's like $250 a dose, so it made sense not to just waste it. So I am, in fact, not through a full week after my last dose, which is why I've persisted in having symptoms. Throughout the last 3 months, I have not been able to tolerate any of my supplements. And guys, I'm a big supplement person. And again, don't change your routine without asking your physician first. I have to give that advice. You know what? I can't taste. That's what it is. Duh. Yours for 42 years. So I thought I would share with you, because I do get questions about this, what I like to take and what I was taking on the regular and why I think I'm struggling with some cold symptoms. So the first thing I take is the Bausch & Lomb Preservision AREDS 2. If you have a family history of macular degeneration, which my mom was nearly blind, this is a good preventative vitamin. So that's an everyday thing. Don't laugh, y'all. My elderberry syrup. I just thawed out my last jug of it because I'm going to start trying to take my supplements again. At least one swig a day, sometimes two, and yes, I drink out of the bottle. Mary Ruth's Liquid Morning Vitamins. They're non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free. Soy is a huge problem with vitamins. I happen to be allergic to soy or intolerant. 0 sugar, 0 fat. That's always a good thing. I swear by these guys. Amazon. Now this little ditty is called Mineral Essence, and let me tell you, it has magnesium chloride, a little bit of tiny bit of sodium, mineral essence blend, salt, honey, royal jelly, lemon, cinnamon, peppermint, and excellent source of magnesium, which is why I take it. My physician actually measured my magnesium, which had always been low, 1 month after taking this on the daily, and he said go to every other day because my magnesium was high. So this is super effective. It's a Young Living product. Link in the description box to Young Living. And then the final thing I like to take, who doesn't like a gummy? The hair, skin, and nail gummies. And guys, I've had none of them for, well, okay, I've taken them, but I've seen them again, if you know what I mean. So if you have high blood pressure, which unfortunately I seem to be the poster child for that as well, many cold preparations will jack your blood pressure way up. I'm not willing to take that risk. So generally, if I get a cold, which is pretty rare, I just deal with it. I try home remedies, and one of the remedies that works for me that seems to lessen the duration, the severity, plus I think it tastes really good, y'all may not like it, is a shot of, it's a lemon, ginger, and orange shot that you can take to give you a big boost of vitamin C. Ginger is anti-infective or antibacterial, antiviral, colds or viruses. It's anti-inflammatory, and it can decrease your congestion because I don't know about blows you up. Now, I will tell you, if you're not a huge fan of ginger, you may want to cut back the ginger on this. And if I had turmeric, I would add that as well. It's water, a little black pepper, and those ingredients. So let me swing you around here, get adjusted, and I'm gonna dribble some tea on the floor. Y'all, I'm a hot mess. I really am today. And we're gonna get to making a very simple, all you need is a blender and either a nut milk bag or like a nylon produce bag. Very simple. So I'll see you in a minute. Guys, just a couple more tips if you're struggling with a cold and you don't want to take over-the-counter medication. This stuff is great. It is the Herbal Cold Care. It's organic by Traditional Medicinals, elderflower spice. And then this came from Walmart. It's the organic throat soother. It's like throat coat, like the name brand. Excellent, both of them. I just can't taste very well. I put another sweetener in. My hairs are sticking out. So, another tip. Y'all, as hillbilly as this sounds, you know how when you get a cold and you think that your nose, you know, you got the big red ring? When I have a really runny nose, I revert to my homemade flannel hankies. I just have them in a little tissue box. And in telling you, not only does it save on Kleenex, which isn't that expensive, it really makes a difference on how sore your nose gets, and then you can just throw them in the wash. You know, they wash right up. Great. And how I made those was out of old pajama pants. Okay, let's get to making these ginger, orange, lemon shots. I'll get it out. So I actually purchased blood oranges. So what you want to do is you do want to take off all of the peel, and I like to take off quite a bit of the pith as well. The pith is the white part. I put these in a jar because we're going to do something with those in just a moment. And then your ginger, you want to make sure you wash it really, really well. I've done that. I've washed my oranges, I've washed my lemons. Now you can do this in a juicer. I do have a juicer, but I thought, well, you know, for purposes of this video, in case you don't have a juicer, most people have some type of a blender. You may be wondering, does it work? I am sorry guys, I'm making such a huge mess. Does it work in a food processor? I don't know. I would not think it would work as well. And you definitely get more juice, in my opinion, out of the juicer. So I have 2 oranges, 2 lemons, and about this much, 3.5 to 4 inches of ginger. If you really like ginger, 5 or 6 inches. I don't want it to blow me up. So to our blender, I'm terrible with these angle things. Okay, let's see, there we go. 1.5 cups of good water, RO water. And then, believe it or not, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And that is thought to really help the immunity components get into your system faster. And you'll have to leave me a comment below. I have, I don't know, maybe half a dozen or so immunity type shots that I will make depending on what I have on hand. Let me know if you would like to see more. I may have to wait till the end of the pantry challenge to do that because most of the ingredients I don't have on hand just because we're in a pantry challenge. All right, guys. So I am using my discontinued Instant Pot Ace blender, and I will pause this, but you just want to blend it until it's very well blended. So I'm going to blend on high, and I'll let you know about how long it took my blender to get everything liquefied. I let this blend for 1 minute. Everything looks very liquefied. So let me talk about how I'm going to squeeze out the solids. So you can buy these reusable produce bags that are washable. They're wonderful. So they look like this. You can take them to the store if you don't want to bring home those plastic bags. I think that stained my hands. Oh well. You can wash them in the washing machine, so they're great. I don't happen to have a nut milk bag, or if I do, I'm not sure where it is. So what I did was I just took, this is a Pampered Chef bowl. It just so happened it fit all the way around. Ooh, that's gingery, guys. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour it all in. Wow, that's pretty liquid. One of the things I like about my blender is it has a self-clean feature, so you put water, a little soap in, and you run it on self-clean. You still need to wash it, but it does great things. Okay, so let's pull up our produce bag. Now, if you were using regular oranges and not blood oranges, pardon me, it won't be so red. So you're gonna have some pulp. And honestly, I'm not sure that would be good for my chickens. One thing, it's so cold out, it would freeze. In between takes here, my sister called me. My sister does not live near, well, she still lives in Ohio. Let me just leave it that way. I don't want to share TMI, but she called because y'all know I live in Cedarville. The state route that I live on is closed because they've had so many accidents. I guess everything's like a solid sheet of ice out there because we had like a icing event, and then we had all the snow. And once you get out of the village limits of Cedarville, there's no snow fence requirement. It is a north-south road. It drifts horribly. Guys, that's all the pulp. So I think this is might be just about as efficient as a juicer. I did add a cup and a half of water. So let me tell you how much this made. This made about 3 cups. So pretty good. And these glass bottles were a gift from my son. It's what I use for my kombucha. I'll see if I can find them on Amazon. They weren't actually a gift, they were a leave behind. If y'all know my son, everything's leave behind. That's okay. I love the boy. You know, guys, I think that cold relief tea is doing something for me here. Now, you can buy little shot bottles, and if you're preparing this for multiple family members, you have some options. You can give everybody their own labeled bottle, because why not, right? Or you can buy the 2-ounce bottles. I'm not going to do that. So how long is this good for? Anytime you juice something, and this is juicing, although not in its purest form, it's recommended you utilize it within 2 to 3 days. Now, I'm going to take this a lot today, so I'm not terribly worried about it not retaining its beneficial properties. And you can freeze it for up to a month is the recommendation. So I don't get the haters. Let's pour us a shot. I can smell that, guys. Gotta get the full effect. Now you could add raw honey, and I may. It may be so strong I can't stand it, but I've had it before like this and it's been just fine. Plenty sweet from the oranges. Warms you all the way down. I'm trying to think what to tell you about this. I wish I could smell better. It just says health and vitality and goodness for me. Whew. Guys, that is fabulous. Let me tell you something. You can buy these shots pre-made. I will go look and see if I can find a price for you, like see if Walmart or any place has it. But generally you would have to buy it at a place like Whole Foods where they're doing fresh daily juicing because of the short shelf life. When I used to travel all the time, I would get them like at the airport. They were like $6 or $7, and I've been retired for, I don't know, 4.5 years, right? So very economical as compared to buying them. They are good for with turmeric in them as well. It makes it a little hotter. So I'd say start with a small amount. If you tolerate that, it doesn't blow you up, you can add 2. So let me clean up my mess. Y'all, I think I'm gonna go back to the pantry challenge way of thinking, and we're gonna make some soup, because nothing says perfect meal when you have a cold as soup does. So I hope you'll stay tuned. A couple more thoughts, y'all. So these produce bags, which I did buy at Walmart, come with a bag for your bags. But it's really nice if you like to bring your own bags and not have all of that plastic waste in the landfill. You can just tuck all your bags in the bag. So that's super helpful. Don't throw away those peels. And you can compost that pulp, by the way. So I just have one of my lait parfait jars, and I'm just gonna top this with white vinegar. And it's okay if there's a little pulp. That doesn't hurt. Oops. No, that doesn't hurt anything. And then you want to put it like in a dark cabinet and just forget about it for like 4 weeks or so. Okay, that's not right. Okay. Okay, there we go. didn't have it on there right. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay, there we go. Like sometimes it's the principle of the matter. There you have it. And you'll have some great natural cleaner. I use it for a lot of my cleaning. Hands down, the vinegar and the essential oils that come out of the oranges and lemons, best soap scum, shower door cleaner, and shower cleaner, hands down. And you're not breathing in a bunch of chemicals or subjecting yourself to a bunch of chemicals. Okay guys, let me finish cleaning up here and we're gonna get to making some soup, some really tasty soup that might help you use up some things in your pantry. I just realized that I didn't say to you all, no, I'm not stopping the pantry challenge. I simply replace what would have been perhaps an over-the-counter cold medicine expense with some natural cures that I know, I shouldn't say cures, natural helpers that I know works for me. So what are we making today? Well, we are going to make something out of the Pillsbury Family Cookbook. I forget the copyright 1963, also a very good year. And we are gonna make ham and split pea soup. So, good time to use up bits and bobs. I've put a couple rounds of olive oil in the pan, and I am going to actually saute the onion a little bit before I add the rest of the ingredients. So this week I've worked really hard on staying focused, if you will, on, let me take this down. Oh, okay, well that ought to be far enough. Emptying out a lot of things out of my freezer. And as I've shared, I didn't have a lot of chicken left, so I'm like, I need to do something besides chicken. And I'm not a huge meat eater, but as I was shuffling and playing Jenga in the freezer, oh, y'all, if you only knew. What I realized was I really needed to get some of my frozen soup out of there. I will freeze, not completely full, in a quart jar. I've never had a breakage problem. So, because soup sounded good, and it's a good time of the year for soup, that's pretty much what I've been eating this week. And I can tell you my freezer has breathed a sigh of relief. I had a lot of jars in the freezer door as well. So let me just let these soften for a minute. So what are you gonna need for this? You either need like a ham hock, pig's feet, a ham bone. If you're doing ham and split pea, you could do any meat that you want. You could use a pork chop. You could use leftover pork roast. Yeah. What I have observed, and this might just be a my area thing, I can buy a ham steak, which is many servings for me, for much less, believe it or not, that I can like ham hocks. Now you don't get the same smoky flavor, and this is kind of controversial. You could always add liquid smoke. A lot of people like the uncured meats anyway, for health reasons. So, okay, my onions are softened. I'm going to add my chopped up ham steak. I could smell the onion, that's a good sign. Ooh, well that ought to be hot enough. And guys, I'm going to use my homemade onion broth. The reason I'm using this is because it's good, but also this was canned in July of 22, and you do need 2 quarts. You could use chicken, vegetable, ham. You could use a lot of different. Now you see all this? That is all turmeric in the bottom. Let me get some of that out. So I should have shaken it before I dumped it. Well, that ought to be a gracious warning. And then you need about 1.5 cups of split peas. One of the reasons I enjoy split pea soup is because you don't have to remember to soak your veg. So we're gonna make it a generous 1.5 cups, because because that's a lot of liquid. And guys, how simple was that? You can put in some garlic. I don't like to saute my garlic. It can get bitter if it gets brown. You could add pepper. You could add any spice that you want, you know, to make it delicious and different. And the directions now say, let me go over the recipe again. It says 1 smoked ham shank. We use 1 ham steak. 2 quarts of water, 6 peppercorns. It calls for whole peppercorns. You fish out. I'm not going to do that because the turmeric makes it plenty spicy. 1.5 cups of dry split peas, 1/2 cup chopped onion, and salt to taste. It says simmer 3 hours until peas are tender and soup thickens. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up to a boil. Then I'm gonna cover it, let it simmer, and we'll see how it tastes. I think it will be delicious. Hopefully my taste will come back by this afternoon. And y'all, I also have been getting some questions about, like, where did you get your kitty tea towels and things like that. And never feel bashful about asking. If I haven't linked something, I'm happy to share the link. Nothing's a mystery. So the cat tea towels I will link below. They have them for different seasons. That was the Valentine's, the pink one that you probably saw in the background. I have the blue winter one as well. Those are the only 2 sets I have. Are they the highest quality towels I've ever used? No, but they're for show. They're not for using. You know you've raised your son right when he's like, can I dry my hands on this, or is this just for looks? My son's the best, he really is. Excuse me. All right, I'm gonna continue cooking. I will bring you back. We will do a taste test, and I'll give you a few final thoughts. So I hope you'll stay tuned. I'm not sure how well the camera picks this up. My girls are like, yeah, we don't care that it's daylight. We are staying in our nice warm nighttime box. But we've got quite a bit of snow, guys, and it's still coming down. It's so, so pretty. So for those of you who it's summer in your area, yeah, you could be dealing with this. I've decided to go a little further with the pantry challenge today and to make something that I can have as I'm having all the soup, right? So, y'all, I shared another shot of the snow, not like you've never seen snow before. I just went out and checked on the chickens, and they're all still sitting up on the roost like, yeah, we're staying right here for right now. God love them. It's about 8:30. Yeah, 8:30, and they still don't want to get up. So let's talk a little bit about past best by date food. All right, so this says April 23, so it's not quite a year expired. And y'all, I find that stuff is just fine. Well past its best by date. I would say the worst thing on a baking mix, you know, you want to look at it, make sure that, you know, no bugs have gotten into it, which it hasn't. It may not rise quite as well if it has a leavening agent in it. Guys, I make all kinds of stuff that it's a little past its best by date. So why do I have convenience items like this? Because I normally do things homemade. Well, for convenience, right? So I particularly love seafood. I love going to Red Lobster. So with these, when I saw them for the first time, let me say it that way, I was like, oh, I must have them, right? Well, they've sat on my pantry shelf because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to use those yet. Ooh, that's not quite the right thing. But this is a perfect day to have some warm, cheesy, buttery biscuits. It's super simple. 3/4 cup of cold water. And y'all, I gotta fix the angle of the dangle here. There we go. And about 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese. And I was like, wait, that is such a ripoff. These are supposed to be cheddar bay biscuits. Where's the cheddar, right? But I have plenty of cheese on hand. Might go a little more than 1/2 cup. This makes, it says 10 biscuits, and it's as simple as that, right? I also have heard y'all loud and clear on the Ninja Creamy. Y'all, I'm sorry, I sound like I've got dementia. I don't. That I know of. No, I don't. I don't know. I think when your head is full of congestion, it's harder to think. I'll refrain from the gross nursey word. All right. Wow, that's really thick. Is that right? 3/4 cup water. Yeah. So it says preheat your oven to 425. I did 400 because Cindy over there, she likes to burn things, and I'm only going to use the top half of the oven. But back to the Ninja Creamy. Wow, all over the place, aren't you, Kym? Wow, that's hard to mix. I am going to actually be spinning some frozen yogurt as part of this video, so in lieu of the fact that I've done a lot of short videos, this one may be a little bit longer. So it says on a greased baking sheet or parchment line. And y'all, if you don't have these USA Pan baking sheets, let me just tell you, they're amazing. I'll be sure and link those below as well. All right, let's see. It just says like 1/4 cup each. So I'm doing kind of a heaping scooper. And then it comes with this little seasoning packet. I'm not sure where I put it, but we'll find it. And you just melt butter. And then when they come out and they're still warm, you brush the butter on them. Butter, good. So this might not be exactly a low calorie treat, but in lieu of the pantry challenge and trying to really, you know, oops, okay. Well, that's 8. I guess, you know, Kym's size biscuits are a little bit bigger. I want to use this stuff up, y'all. I don't want to just let it go to waste. I think, you know, sometimes things look good at the grocery, especially if you go when you're hungry, and then you're like, yeah, I don't really want that. So we're gonna go into the oven. It says 14 to 16 minutes until golden brown. I'll melt the butter. Okay, here's the itty bitty seasoning packet. I'll melt the butter, get that ready to go, and we'll have us some cheddar bay biscuits to go with our split pea and ham soup. Oh my word, y'all. Look at these beauties. Excuse me, I just had another sneezing fit. So the little herb packet, to me, smells a lot like garlic butter. My smeller's off, so please realize that. It might smell a little bit like chicken bouillon, or it might not. Not really sure about that. But these, I could smell them. They smell amazing. So maybe that ginger orange shot did something for me. I certainly hope so. So after checking my chickens, a word came to mind. I never knew what it meant, so I had looked it up. So my chickens are herkel-dirkeling, which means, it's a Scottish term, which means to lay in bed long after it's time to get up. But you know what? I know that they're warm in there, and I don't really worry. I checked on them. They're all fine. Wow, that's a little butter. Get it down into those nooks and crannies. Yes. It's gonna be hard to ignore these until our soup is ready in another hour and a half, but I haven't eaten yet today, so we're gonna make brunch out of this. And yes, we're gonna have the dessert. I'm anxious to show you how well the Ninja Creamy actually works. This isn't going to be a straight up sugar-free recipe. It is sweetened with honey. So, well, I mean, it is table sugar-free, but it does have sweetener in it. I like the Greek god honey yogurt, and I had some, if y'all remember, that needed to be used in my refrigerator during the pantry challenge. I just wasn't up to eating it. It just didn't sound good. So I froze it in one of my creamy canisters, and we're gonna have that after lunch. All right, stay tuned. So Hanky Pinky Frankie's over there checking out what I'm making here. Let's give a taste test to our delicious split pea soup. It smells amazing. It's screaming hot. Oh my goodness, y'all, that is so good. The onion broth adds a little something something to it so it's not so bland. Let's try our cheddar bay biscuits. I know these will be good. Oh my word. Cheesy, buttery, salty, ooey gooey goodness. Well, that was hot. So y'all, I'm gonna go enjoy my brunch, and I'll bring you back and we'll spin some frozen yogurt, and then we'll be finished for the day. So, bon appetit. Last cooking for today. So I am still getting used to my Ninja Creamy Deluxe 501. So I kind of have to still refer to the book. And let me tell you all, I don't know if it was because I hadn't eaten for like 18 hours. That was absolutely the best soup I think I've ever made. It just was warming, and I did add like a teaspoon and a half of salt and some black pepper, and it was perfect. All right, so it says, after plugging in the unit, place the outer bowl on the base. Okay, me and my camera angles, right? And then you want to slide it in straight ahead, twist it to the right, oops, and it will lock. I had my finger on the unlock. Press power, and then you want to do the processing mode. So it's full, and we are doing frozen yogurt. You just turn the knob, and how do you get it to go? Oh, you press the button. My model has a respin button, so let's see if it's good. Let me think. There's a button. Or if it needs, oh, it's pretty perfect. So here's what we've got. Oh, y'all, it's perfect. Let me show you. Oh, creamy and rich. One thing it does say is don't use low-fat yogurt. Look at this. Am I eating out of the container? No? I'll have to limit myself on this. It's tangy, it's smooth, it's creamy. Now you may be wondering, no, I'm not gonna eat a pint of ice cream. What do you do if you have leftovers? You have a couple of options, but since I don't eat this stuff like every day, wait, I hope you all are laughing with me. That is the best frozen yogurt I've ever had. What you want to do is smooth the top back down to refreeze. And you can totally respin it. And mine, you can have it just spin the top. You can have it spin it full, or if it's just the bottom, it will tell the little creamification paddle to go down into the bottom. This thing is amazing. As soon as I can drink coffee, guys, I promise I'm gonna make the, what was the thing called? Not a crappuccino. Okay, hold on. Now that I'm sure is the wrong word. Creamachino. I was close. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I've certainly enjoyed having you along. In between some of the takes, my neighbor Miles, hi Miles, he's 11 or 12. He's my bud. He's my help me do everything buddy. And he came over and he was like, I'm going to shovel your sidewalk and your porch because of the way the wind's blowing. And so sweet. So of course I paid him. He would do it without pay, but he's a good little kid. And so before he left, I'm like, hey, I can't eat this Valentine's candy. Are you allowed to have it? Yeah. So I had him fill his pockets up because he came in for a little bit. They have the chicken sisters to mine, big white house in the back, and their chickens have not left the roost either today. So they must know what's coming because we're in for another polar vortex. So I'm gonna go eat my ice cream or my frozen yogurt. Y'all, it's so good. And then I will refreeze it for a treat for another day. So I can see why people want multiple containers. I'm gonna see if I can find a coupon code. That's what I'm gonna do. If you've made it this far, you are a champion. Guys, I so appreciate each and every one of you. I sometimes forget to say that, but I really, really do. And I just love reading all of your comments, your emails, etc. If by the end of the day today, if by tomorrow morning, I have not heard from the drawing winner, drawing winner, I will pick another person. Just don't use the word draw, Kym. And so stay tuned for that because I have a feeling I'm not going to hear from that person. So, you know, some people, although she was subscribed, although, you know, she's commented before, some people just kind of search for subscriber giveaways and they enter everything and then they forget to go back and check. No harm, no foul, no anger, not meaning to be mean, but, you know, I do want to get that sweatshirt out to the subscribing winner. So I will see you all, I think, on Thursday, Lord willing. I should not sound like this by Thursday. If I do, that would be bad, but I think I'm on the mend already. Got my diffuser going with some spearmint essential oil to keep me cleared out, keep the air humidified. All right, guys, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Don't forget to leave me a comment. If you'd like to see some of the other, I'll call them immunity shots, I'd be glad to do a video on it with what I have on hand. So I may have to do it over a couple of videos, and I'm going to need to be making some elderberry syrup. I've done a couple videos on it, so let me know if you want another one because we have a lot of new people here. All right, guys, I'll see you very soon. And until then, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.